Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, I just was sitting here in my man cave tonight and thinking about some ideas for a vlog that I've been wanting to get out of my head. It's around the idea of goal setting ultimately, and I love the example I heard on a podcast. It was actually Drew Carey of all people, was the guest on a podcast that I listen to occasionally, and he one of the pieces of advice he gave that was just so spot on and perfect, and I've used it in my life since then, and it's awesome. And he talks specifically about using a vision board as a way to put goals down. But basically what he said is, get really good at setting goals. He's talking to like young people just kind of getting started out in their life, and someone was a young college kid that was asking him for advice about this, and he says, get really good at setting goals. Get books about goal setting. Don't just read one. Read a bunch of them. Learn the skill of setting goals and working towards those goals, and you'll have a good life. Essentially, was what he was saying. But specifically, he talked about the example of, if you don't put a vision board together, if you don't, a vision board is where you actually put like pictures of things that you want to achieve, whether it's a big fancy house or a car or a maid or whatever, that you want to sort of materialize in your life. That the first step is putting it down on paper in some way, shape, or form. Uh, and but he says, if you don't do that, if you don't take the time to do that, and you're just kind of bebopping through life hoping for the best, which I spent 40 plus years doing, it, he said, if you don't and you just kind of wing it, here's what happens. Advertisers will set your goals for you. They will tell you what to buy and what you need in your life. And you'll feel kind of miserable because it's a barrage of information constantly telling you, you need this. You can't be happy if you don't have this. You need this shiny thing to be happy and fulfilled. And so that's what leads people down, to depression and things just not going their way in their life, never feeling like they have enough money to have the things that they want, because this advertiser is persistent more than anything out there. They are persistent. They will come after you and tell you repeatedly what you want. If you don't decide what you want before that, you're kind of screwed. You're at their mercy. And I heard that podcast and I was really moved by that thought. And I swear it wasn't probably the next day. I had made a plan for lunch. I needed to go get some lunch. I was at work. I needed to grab something to eat real quick. Okay, I'll go to Wendy's. Wendy's is an option. And I have little fast food tricks for, when you're eating on the go and you need something quick, but you don't want to, cheat. You don't want to eat a bunch of junk. And so Wendy's is on my list. I'll get like a small chili and a plain baked potato and just pour the chili on the potato and eat it. And it's maybe 300 calories or something. It's a pretty, very, very reasonable meal, calorically speaking. Might have high sodium and some other things that aren't great, but it's not bad as fast food goes. So I made up my mind. I'm going to go to Wendy's. I'm going to get a small chili and a baked potato and maybe a Diet Dr. Pepper, maybe a water. I don't know. Anyway, made my choice about what I was going to get. And I pull up to the drive-up line. There's a line, and I'm a couple cars back from the thing, so I've got some time. And what is staring me in the face right next to my driver's window? A picture of the most amazing looking 1,000-calorie hamburger that I've ever seen, and it's just telling me, you need to eat me. I'm delicious. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I need that. I should get that. And then I went, wait a minute. No, I had a plan. I made a goal. I set a goal. I had a plan. I'm sticking to the plan. Dang it. You're not going to tell me what to do, advertisers. Sorry, I'm getting a little excited, but it was a great moment because it really concreted that up in my mind about how important it is to have a plan. If you want to achieve something, you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. It's that same principle that many of us were taught as kids, about peer pressure, and you got to decide what you're going to do before you're faced with that peer pressure. If you're, a bad group of kids or something, a bad influence is trying to get you to, do drugs or drink or something when you're in junior high or high school. You got to know and have a plan before going in there that you've already made up your mind that that's probably not something that you should do, and that you should, at the very least, wait until you're legal to do it. And that was just something I was taught at church as a kid. That you hear those lessons a million times in your youth, and you kind of learn to just let them roll off your back and ignore them if you're not paying attention or you're not trying. Anyway, but so many of the things that I learned as a kid are coming back to me now in my 40s, going, "Oh, that's why they told you 100,000 times when in your adolescence to do this. I see how it benefits me now." Anyway, sorry I'm rambling now, but the idea about the goal, you got to have a plan. If you're going to a restaurant for lunch, make your choice before you get there, because they're going to put a bunch of pictures of some amazing things in front of you on the menu or on the board or the sign on the poster of the window, whatever. They're going to try and get you to spend more money than you were planning on. That's their main goal. They don't really care how healthy or not the food is. They just want you to spend more. So if you don't have a plan before you get there, it's really hard to make the right choice because those pictures are really appealing, and that's by design. So that's my thoughts for this evening. Hope that helps. Make your goals before you get to the choice making point. And what I mean by that is be smart, make your choice before you are faced with a bunch of deceptive advertising, and stick to your plan. Peace out, everybody.